Hi guys, I hope you're all well. So today I'm going to do a video which has been asked for what it seems like years. So I'm going to be doing the tattoo tag, finally. So I watched Tashi's the other day and I was like, you know what, people have asked me to film this for ages, I'm going to film it. So here we are. So let's just get straight into this. So my tattoo stories, I suppose, like the first tattoo I ever had, I was 16. Now, I would never recommend that at all because I've since covered it up. And it said, Princess. Oh my God, what was I thinking? Obviously I was only 16, but it was covered up. It's covered up now, but you can kind of slightly see it through the tattoo that I've covered up with, which I quite like because it kind of is a little bit there, but not for anyone else to see. And then after that I had like a little pink bow put next to it and then 3 stars. I just found it so gross, like after a long time. I just thought it was so untasteful and just not my style, so I decided to cover it up. So that is the only cover up I've had, but it kind of proves that, you know, I was 16 years old, I wasn't grown up enough to have a tattoo. I changed as, like, who wants princess on the wrist when they're like 27? That's pretty embarrassing. So yeah, I covered that one up. My second tattoo was the one on my foot, and I had that when I was 18. Would I have it? I don't dislike it, I do like it, but I probably wouldn't choose to have that now, but I don't regret it. It's cute, I like cherry blossoms, and I feel like life's a bit like a cherry blossom. It's, what did I used to always say, life's like a cherry blossom, it's beautiful but doesn't last very long because life is too short. So that's why I wanted cherry blossoms for my foot, and I thought butterfly was cute, so I put a butterfly with it too, and I just wanted something girly on my foot. That's the kind of thing I was sort of saying to the tattoo artist at the time. So yeah, that was my second tattoo. I'm going to probably go a bit out of order because it's kind of hard to remember exactly the order of tattoos. I remember going into a tattoo shop just before I got the next one and wanting like a big pin-up girl on my arm, but I ended up not getting it. I went to a tattoo convention and got the one on my inner forearm, but I really like this, and I used to say it kind of meant that, you know, it's a key with a lock which is attached to itself with a flower in between, and it kind of means that although it doesn't work, it's still beautiful, and I felt like that represented my body, like it's broken but it can still be beautiful. So that's why I had that. I don't know if that really is a meaning to me now, but I just thought that was a nice little meaning. But I remember showing a picture to the tattooist of this tattoo I found online, and he did it different to that. He made his own style, and again, the only thing with this is kind of upside down to your eye but not to mine. So I think a lot of tattooists would be like, have it the other way around. But the colour has lasted so well with this. I was 19, I think, when I got that tattoo, and like it's really, really still really colourful and nice, and yeah, I really like it still. On that same day, I got a treble clef on my little pinky finger. Unfortunately, that's smudged. I just got this to represent like music, and I really love music, so unfortunately that's smudged. I wear my pinky ring over it, not necessarily to hide it, but just because, yeah, I did. I keep forgetting to say the pain. So for the one on my foot I couldn't feel, which was a bonus. For one on my wrist, that was so small, it obviously stung, but I remember the one on my inner forearm really hurting. On the left side of it, towards my outer forearm, it didn't hurt because I couldn't feel it, but on the part that I could feel, like like closer to my forearm, the front, that really hurt, like so painful. But I don't find tattoos unbearable. I feel like they're worth the pain in the end. It doesn't last long, so once the pain's are, I feel like they're less aggravating than having a piercing, because I feel like once you've had a piercing, the pain is afterwards, but when you have a tattoo, I feel like the most pain is when you're having it, so it's worth it. I then had the one on my wrist, which is my heart on my sleeve, but at the same time, peace and love. Like I said, I don't know if I'm doing these in the correct order, but this is how I remember it. So I had the peace and love sign, and yeah, with my heart on my sleeve. So that's kind of self-explanatory, like, you know, the world have peace and love, and I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot of the time. My most meaningful tattoo, I would say, is the one on my shoulder, and it says, she dried her eyes, picked up her microphone. And lyrics from a Lady Gaga song called Fooled Me Again, Honest Eyes. But the reason I had it was because when I heard that song, it really I could really relate to it. Well, relate to those lyrics in the fact that when I had my accident, I then sang to myself to keep myself awake, which you've probably read about in my book and I've probably mentioned loads of times. So in my eyes, I felt like I dried my eyes, picked up my microphone and just went for it. And I feel like that's what I do every day. Like if I'm feeling low, I'm still picking up my microphone. I'm still talking to you guys. I'm still putting myself out there, and that's what it represents to me. It represents being positive, and it represents being a powerful person and a positive person, and it's empowering to me, and it just feels like it's me in a tattoo. So I just love it. I then had a peace sign on my inner forearm on the other side, just because I like the peace sign. And I had this at the time when I was really into like meditation and stuff like that. And you know, I still am, but I was really heavily into meditation at the time, and I found that this was very representative of that time. Oh, I've just forgot. Rewind back to when I was 18 again. I had a tattoo that I dislike now, and that is the one behind my ear. Because the reason I dislike this, I probably wouldn't dislike it as much if I only had a couple of stars, but I literally have a million stars behind my ear, and I just don't really like it. Fortunately, it's behind my ear, so I can't really see, but I feel like I could have used that space more wisely. But you know, I had it when I was in Tenerife. It was a memory. I only had a few stars to start off with, and then I added more because strange. But yeah, that's the only tattoo now that I don't really like that's on me, but it doesn't bother me too much because it's just behind my ear. What else? It's hard to remember. So my shoulder. Oh, and then oh my goodness, like I'm really completely confused with timelines. So I've also got one on my ribs, which is a feather with daisies, and I know that sounds really, really random, but I pictured it in my mind, and then I decided that's what I wanted. I kind of did a meditation and I wanted a new tattoo, and I remember thinking about Native Americans, and that's why I've got like a blue and a red bead on the feather to represent the earth and the sky, which is what Native Americans have on a lot of their jewellery. I had a ring at the time which had coral and turquoise in it, which was Native American from like a vintage piece. So I wanted to put that in the tattoo because I just thought it was really nice and a nice meaning, and that's why I had a feather. This is kind of more a traditional style feather, I'd say. And the daisies I just thought were cute, and I made it up in my head. It probably doesn't really match like daisies and a Native American feather, but it was something that I saw in my mind's eye, and I just thought, you know what, I want to put that on my ribs. And it was quite funny because I can't feel that part of my body. I could feel like the vibration, like through my stomach and my ribs, and like, you know, could kind of, and I was sweating through the pain. But I was like, yeah, it's fine. So the guy must have thought, God, she's not flinching at all, which is the same with like my foot one and another one that I've got lower down. But I really like this tattoo. It's not like I ever really get my stomach out because I don't really like my stomach. But it was quite cool because when the guy first put it on, like we were talking about placement, I was like, it can't really be completely round my ribs because you wouldn't ever see it because of my chair. My chair kind of curves around, so we've brought it a bit more forward so it's more like at the front of my ribs onto my stomach. Then I had a tattoo on the inner part of my ankle, which is just of a little like swallow, like a traditional looking swallow bird. I just thought it was cute and I just wanted something on my ankle, so that's why I had that. There was no reason for it, I just thought it was really cute, and there was no real reason for that one. Then I had this butterfly on the outer corner of my like the back of my arm, but it's faded so much. I really wanted a realistic looking butterfly, and this one is really like more like fine lines and more shading as opposed to bold lines, but it's faded tremendously, and it's not even really that old. Maybe got this in 2012 or maybe 2013, and it's quite faded, but I still think it's pretty, and it was so delicate and it was so vibrant when I first had it done, but it was just a shame that it faded quite quickly. I could obviously have it retouched up, but I'm not that fussed, to be honest. And then when I had my cover up, I had this. So I wanted some wild flowers to cover up my tattoo. First of all, I wanted a sunflower, but it wouldn't work with the placement. So I ended up having these wildflowers. So this one looks kind of like a big wildflower. And these two I think are really pretty because they go up my arm a bit and crawl up. So I really like this. And I was really, really pleased when I had the cover up of this tattoo because I didn't know how it would work and I didn't know where to go. But thankfully, I'm really pleased with it and I thought it was really nice. Last year, I ended up having the first part of this like henna style tattoo, mandala style tattoo. So I didn't have this bit first of all. I just had this bit with the cute little bits dripping onto my hand. I really like this. I think it's so delicate and so feminine. The reason I had this is because I've always wanted a mandala. Not that this bit is, but this was the first part and I just find it really pretty. So then a few months later I had the other half, which is the mandala half. And the reason I've always wanted a mandala is because it means like eternity and like everything's eternal and it's just beautiful to me. And I know it's only a half mandala, so it kind of defeats the object of the, you know, the eternity thing. But I just really think they're beautiful and it just is just what I like. So that's why I had it. I mean, each tattoo at the time, especially when I was younger, definitely had meanings. And there was more of a meaning to one of my ribs, but I can't really quite remember exactly. But I do know that I saw it in my mind's eye and I'd done a meditation and I wanted a Native American in there. But I almost forgot one of my newest tattoos as well, which I love, is my unalom. I can't remember if that's how you say it. So the reason I had this was, one, because it's so cute and I just love the little design, but also the meaning, it just meant so much to me. So it starts off like a little spiral, which can, it kind of represents struggles in life, and then it goes straight, which represents enlightenment. And when you see the, you know, when you see the bigger picture of life, that's how it represents me anyway. And I think that is the main representation, you know, the struggle and then enlightenment. So to me, yeah, I have it so it shows, you know, all that I've been through, all the struggles I've been through, and the fact that I am now reaching higher and yeah, I can see the bigger picture of life and know that life is positive and I can live a positive life if I choose to. That's how I see the tattoo. And I know that is kind of the representation anyway, but it means like enlightenment, like, woo. But I feel like it means to me reaching the most positive self that I can be. And yeah, it's a nice reminder that, you know, how far I've come. And I really like the placement of it because I've had it just below my scar at the back of my neck. So it kind of shows to me that I've been through so many struggles and I've had so much crap, yet I can still live a really positive life. But yeah, I'll tell you the ones I could feel and the ones that I couldn't feel. So I could feel the one on my shoulder, and that was painful. I mean, they're all painful, but they're never, I don't feel like they're ever unbearable where I'm like, stop. I've never had to have a tattoo, it's like, stop. So I could feel that. I could feel part of my butterfly on my arm, like more this part, because I thought I wouldn't feel any of it, and I was like, oh, when I could. I could feel most of this one on my front forearm and my wrist. I could feel a lot of my cover up. I could feel my peace sign. I could feel my forearm rose and key tattoo. And the one behind my ear. Yeah, that's it. The one behind my ear, I feel, when I was about to have it, I was like, this is going to be so painful, but I literally could hardly feel it, even though I could feel it, but it wasn't painful at all. The most painful one, I would say, was probably my cover-up, because it's quite dark, and yeah, I think that's what, it's quite dark, whereas like my mandala style tattoo was really painful, but the lines are so light, and you know, there's a lot of free space in between the tattoo that there wasn't a lot of shading or anything. So I couldn't feel the one on my foot, the one on my ankle, the one on my ribs, the one on my peace and love, one on my wrist, my finger tattoo, and I couldn't really feel my unalom either. The one on my shoulder did hurt. But yeah, they're all worth the pain because they have all healed lovely and I love them all. I really want to get another tattoo like here to fill this blank space, because I wouldn't mind having like half sleeve like from the lower half of my arm. But also when I twist my arm like this, because I haven't got this part of my arm very well, like the muscular part, it's quite bony. Sometimes when I put my arm like this, it looks like my tattoo's twisted. Look, but it's not. When I have my arm straight, I can't put my arm high enough for you to see. It's not, but yeah. But I love tattoos. It's a piece of art to me, and you've got it on your body for life. I would say never go somewhere that's so cheap and can get you in like that day, because I feel like they're probably not the best artists. I think, you know, if you're going to have someone's piece of art on you forever, you want it to be good. I think if you can walk in somewhere and they charge you like £30 an hour, then they're probably not that great. Whereas most of mine have been probably about £60 an hour, I'd say, like on average, and then up probably. But I think that's more normal. And just remember that if you want a good tattoo, you're going to have to pay the price, and it lasts forever. So it's, you know, it's worth the money if you really want it, because it's on you forever. It's not like you haven't, you know, like if you have your hair done, it lasts a few months, but if you have a tattoo, it's there forever. So I would also say, or really look into the tattoo, think about exactly what you want, look at the design for a long time. Don't just see something one day and be like, I want that, and go get it done. Unless you want to do something spontaneous and put it in like a place that, you know, isn't gonna like ruin your look. Like, you're not gonna just put it here and be like, I'm having that forever, just seeing something one day. Think about your design for a while, because I think you change as a person. And I, you know, some of my tattoos I probably wouldn't decide to have now, but I feel like I've grown with them. But I've never just walked in somewhere and said I want this, apart from the one behind my ear, which is the one I dislike. So, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed my tattoo tag. Let me know which tattoo you like the most, and if you have any tattoos that you would like to get. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video and give it a thumbs up, and I will speak to you soon. Have an amazing day.